Well, howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and check out what we've got behind old Eureka here. Let me go ahead and get the charade out of the way. Eureka obviously doesn't have a pintle. This is just kind of a mock-up, if you will. I just wanted to see it, but earlier this week I picked up this thing and, well, I just got to show this thing off. This thing is super cool. If you guys didn't already know, this is a military M-100 quarter-ton trailer. These were quite literally built to be towed behind flat fender Jeeps. This trailer was built in 1952, manufactured by the Dunbar Capel Inc., Geneva, Illinois. It was delivered in December of 1952, so this thing is actually going to match up perfectly with my Willys M38 project when I get going on that. And that Jeep will have the pintle on it, so I can actually tow this trailer. But this thing, she popped up on the old marketplace here local, and you know, I did my due diligence and stuck her in the save category on the marketplace and decided I'd keep an eye on it. Waited about a week and I shot the guy a low ball offer, and well, here she is. So we got a deal worked out. I had to skedaddle out to North Pole and pick this thing up, drug her back here, and it towed great. The only issue is behind my 1-ton, I couldn't hardly see this thing back there, so every now and then I had to, you know, make sure it was still there because she's rocking these really old, pretty old tires anyhow. The guy was telling me about how, you know, worn out these tires were, and I needed to, you know, replace those immediately. And when I saw what was on this side, I was like, this tire is going to outlive me and everybody around me. Look at this sassy old NDT. Plenty of tread on that thing. Hardly any dry rot visible in her at all. And, you know, like any good bias ply, she's hardly holding any wind, but that's fine. These M100 trailers are really cool because they have the same hub setup as a Willys Jeep. They have the same bolt pattern and everything, so you can run the same size wheel and tire setup on your trailer. So your Jeep and your trailer have all the same wheels. You can pack one spare for both, or, you know, multiple spares, but you don't need any funny stuff going on to have spares for the trailer. This one's got 15-inch wheels on it instead of 16s, which is kind of a downer, but it'll be all right. So this trailer is kind of a variant of the M416, and well, the M100 I think came first, and then they made the M416. I've always wanted an M416. They have the squared off fenders instead of these curved fenders, but this is almost as close, and I don't think I could find a nicer one than this. The M100 trailer was made in World War II to be towed behind the Willys MB and the Ford GPWs, and I believe, per my research, the World War II M100 trailers had a lever you pulled out for the parking brake, and this one has, of course, this lever you pull sideways for the parking brake. And if I can get it here, the parking brake does actually work on this trailer. I was shocked to see that. She's got all the information on the data plates, all the data plates, like I showed you guys, that one, and then this one, and then this one are all here. So this one shows all the dimensions, the weight, and everything on this trailer, shipping, cubage, and everything. And then over here, just another data tag with a bunch of information on it, pretty much. I gotta go ahead and, of course, clean this thing up, hit her with the pressure washer, get all this moss and everything out of here so it doesn't promote rust, because this thing is solid. You'll ignore all the miscellaneous Jeep parts that I've already started packing in here. Bed floor is in beautiful shape in this thing. It's not even washboarded too bad. It is a little bit, but I mean, you're just fixing to have that. And then, of course, we look on the outside. She's blue, but it's originally blue. This trailer, let me hit my light and see if I can't make that a little better. There we go. This trailer was on Eielson Air Force Base there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this trailer would have been repainted at some point. Yeah, so U.S. Air Force. I never noticed all this stuff over here. Something Vancouver, Washington. So this thing made its way up here from the lower 48. Obviously, there's a stencil on the other side that shows where it was processed in 1953 before it came up here, but I know it spent its life on Eielson, and then pretty sure that's just United States Air Force, although I wonder if this trailer's, I don't remember when they became the USAF instead of the USAAF when they transferred from US Army Air Corps to US Air Force. But yeah, all that original stenciling, the original 24-volt tail lights and everything on this thing, every single reflector still on this thing. The tailgate's a little, she's a little beat up. Of course, the other thing about these trailers is they didn't have a tailgate, they just had a back panel. After World War II, Bantam, if you know anything about flat fender Jeeps, you should know about Bantam. They made trailers in World War II, and they made the M-100 trailer in World War II. After World War II, they made a civilian model of this trailer that did have a tailgate, so not all the ones with the tailgates in them are modified, but these, of course, didn't have the tailgate, and the reason why they didn't have the tailgate, if I can get down here, is these things were made to float, but they do have a drain plug right here. I'm not sure how that drain plug works, but you can slide that drain plug in. It'll keep all the water out of this thing, and then if you want it to drain, you can pop the drain plug out, which is just wild to think that they were floating these things. Guess while we're down here, I'll give you guys a quick look at all the, just how beautiful this thing is. I mean, you can see some of this undercoat is peeling up, and there's that original Air Force blue peeking through. Just no bad rust on this thing at all. It's like it got used on the Air Force. Somebody bought it surplus and just parked it. So solid tube axle here with the, I'm pretty sure if my research is right, the hubs on this thing are the exact same as a Jeep, and the spring packs are too. So this thing would be a quarter-ton trailer, just like a flat fender Jeep is a quarter-ton utility vehicle. And then, yeah, if the springs break, you can swap them out with Jeep springs. Any issues with the hubs and the bearings are the same as your Jeep. Come up here, just like I said, processed by the Trumpain Company, Inc., Portland, Oregon, the 20th of March, 1953. So this thing was delivered per that tag in December, and in March it was processed in Portland. So, I don't know. I think by the end of 1953, this trailer was up here in Alaska, but hard telling not knowing with this military stuff. But yeah, one of these days I'll have this thing hitched up behind my M38, or who knows, I might put a pintle on Eureka here and tow it around with this thing. This will be a handy little tool to have around the property, hauling junk around and everything, and it's just a beautiful kind of display item. I was thinking that one of the reasons I always wanted one of these is these are kind of the trailers that a lot of people buy to do overlanding with. They'll build a platform to put a rooftop tent on, and then of course you can throw all your camping gear in here, but this thing is too nice to do any big modifications to. It's kind of a time capsule with all the original stencils and the data tags and everything, and like it's got some dings and dents and bruises, of course, but you know, who doesn't? I think one of the worst things to it is there's that gash in the sheet metal right there, so she's probably not going to float too well. And then the battery box up here is kind of torn up, or toolbox, I think. These shouldn't have had a battery. Of course, it still has the original, there we go, the original 24-volt plug-in for those lights. So military style, early plug-in. If I do anything with this thing, I'll be converting that over to a regular 4 or a 7-pin trailer light plug-in. So splice and dice some wires on that, but that's further down the road. For right now, this thing, of course, like you can see, is just holding Jeep parts for me and sitting around and, well, looking good, because this thing is awesome. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little walk around on the old M-100 trailer and kind of the information and everything on it. And I don't know, maybe somebody out there is excited as I am about this thing. It's just such a cool piece to have, an original M-100 trailer from the early 50s to tow behind these sassy old Jeeps. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one.